Welcome to KGXT, Gen X Talks podcast, live from Central California.
Making plans with the boys. I'm gonna hit the town. Yeah, I'm gonna make some noise. I'll push past the pain and my wounded pride. I'm gonna live it up.
Hello, McFly.
What? I was waiting for the thing to clicky. All right, streaming is on, yeah.
You have the volume up really well.
All right, hold on. So let me make sure. My
Check
volume's in the
the
middle.
settings.
I'm checking the goddamn settings. Okay, welcome to Gen X Talks podcast. Yeah, look, we're in the yellow. Now you talk.
Hey,
I'm counting to 10. I'm reciting my ABCs. Welcome to Gen X Talks podcast. Okay, Gen X mom, sound check. Hey. Oh, for God's sake.
I'm hearing we're sounding good.
All right, 5x5 sounding good. So here we are. Welcome to Gen X Talks podcast.
Yeah,
10
whatever.
a.m. Los Angeles time, broadcasting 200 feet below occupied California from the KGXT studios. Hey, what? Why are you looking at me like that?
Why do we have to do this show so early?
It's the same time.
I'm whining today.
No kidding, you are. It's the
I'm
same,
sorry.
Same time
So
every week. It's not
tired.
early.
I'm so tired.
You know, when you get up and have your cup of coffee at 6, you think this show's starting, the day's half over.
Amen.
When you wake up and you have your cup of coffee at 9:30, you think it's way too early for the show. That's the problem.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I was up at 7.
Yeah, about 7.
About 7 this morning, but I'm tired. Like we've been just go every day, and I'm just tired.
You're actually worse today than you were on the ride home, which I didn't,
But it's not back pain. I've got a gut pain. I think it was just the diet that what we were eating. We were not eating very well.
No,
this
but
last time.
weren't. But we weren't going overboard. I mean,
No, it wasn't like we were eating like a lot of food. It
No.
was just kind of.
And look at the times that I ordered breakfast. I was very careful. I ordered small portions.
Well, that's what I mean. I go, we kind of snacked, I guess. Would you say?
I don't feel like
don't
I
know.
did. I didn't have any road snacks hardly at all this time. I mean, I really was better, but I suffered bad for
You
like
were
a
worse
day.
than me this trip.
Yeah, by a lot. Yeah, I was not in good shape. So it was yeah. So we're back from Nevada.
That was a kind of a short trip too.
Yeah, a little bit, but
Did you get recognized again? Tell people.
Okay,
Go ahead.
there was 2 things that happened. One was I was
And I wasn't there for.
either one of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
So I don't know. It could be a story.
could be just a story.
I have
walked
no idea.
into the gas station when we're leaving Reno. Walked into the Chevron station, and an old guy just opened the door for me. He saw me hobbling in.
Oh, I saw that guy look back.
Well, he stopped. He goes, "Hey, do I know you?" And I said, "Yep." And I kept walking.
Yeah, because I did see that happen because I was sitting in the truck and
You were
it
watching
looked
me.
like the guy
Yeah, he-
took a double take
Oh,
at
he
you.
full on said, "Do I know you?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I kept walking. I said,
Oh, I didn't know if what he said to
I
you.
said, "Yeah." And then, yeah, you do. Nodded and winked and yep. And he's like, "Okay." We didn't get to
He
discuss.
probably got in the truck and drove away and went, oh,
How do I know that guy? The other one was we were checking into, you just went through the line because you always check us in at the hotel. And I just grabbed my chair and walked over and sat in a corner for a minute. And this guy was eyeballing me from about 6 feet away, and he kept looking at me and looking back and looking at me. Then he starts looking at his phone. He's looking at me, and I hear
You
him
told me
tell
about
his
this.
wife, because she's the organizer. This woman was, "Stand here, Harold. You stand right here, Harold. You hold the baby and hold my purse."
Sounds like your mother.
Well,
with your dad.
Yeah. So he goes, "That's the guy." And she goes, "You're not going to talk to him." He goes, "But that's the guy." She goes, "You stay right here." And she was trying to find her friends or her relatives or some kid. She wanted him to stand there with the baby, with the other child in tow and their luggage and not move. And he's like, "But he's right over there." He kept saying, "That's the guy. He's right there." She would not let him come talk to me. The only thing that was weird was there was a guy. I was up against that pillar.
Right.
And there was a guy, kept noticing a guy behind me. It was over my shoulder. And I kept turning around and looking, and then he'd look away.
And
And
that's kind of creepy.
yeah, and he was looking at my phone because I was scrolling through my phone and doing stuff. And he was looking over my shoulder at my phone. So I put my phone down and turn around, and he'd look away. I'd put my phone down, turn around, and he'd look away. So the next time I brought my phone up, I had it on camera where I could see myself.
Oh.
And so I bring it up, and now my camera's looking at me and him looking at me, and he looks for like 3 seconds, like, oh shit.
That was pretty good. I didn't think about that. Speaking of families at GSR, holy guacamole, man.
Too many.
Oh, we arrived on Sunday, and you would have thought there was a big, huge party or concert going on or something.
People usually are leaving on Sunday. We thought we'd get there, and there'd be 1,000 cars, but they'd all be checking out.
Yeah, and we knew that Monday was a holiday, but we thought we were going to beat everything. The drive up was really simple, easy, but when we got there, oh my goodness.
I couldn't believe how many people were arriving on Sunday just to leave on Monday.
Yes.
That was amazing.
We ran into that one guy in the elevator that said he was there with 4 kids. His wife made him drive. His wife made him drive 4 hours to spend one night at the GSR
with all the kids
in one room. He wasn't very happy.
We asked him, we said, hey man, there's a lot of people. He goes, yeah, I'm one of them. I had to drive over here from, where was he from?
California.
Berkeley or something?
I don't know.
He drove 4 hours. He goes, I'm 4 hours away, California. My wife said, we're coming. I said, well, what are you here for? I guess everybody wants to go skiing. I go, when are you going home? Tomorrow. You're here for one night? Yeah. My wife said I had to go. And I'm not sure why I'm here, but I got 4 kids in the same room with me. I'm not happy about it. And I'm like, wow, label that dude Mr. That's the way he was talking.
Yeah, he was not happy. And he was like waiting for the elevator. He was in no rush to get back to his room.
He didn't care how long that elevator took. He probably skipped 3 rides. Now keep going. I don't want to go back to the room yet. I'm fine.
So we found out on Tuesday, we drove out to my brother's and we passed a school. And the school is completely empty. The parking lot, no kids on the playground. I was like, this is kind of weird. So when we got to my brother's, I asked St. Donna, I go, what's going on with no school today or whatever? And
that was Tuesday because Monday was a holiday.
I said Tuesday. Tuesday, everybody should be back.
I'm letting the audience know that Tuesday we were thinking everybody would be back in school.
Yeah, so she looked it up and out there in Nevada or in that county, they get a week off in February. So
it's not a block school thing.
I have no idea the schedule.
3 months on and 2 months off.
I have no idea.
It is.
But
they were off. So there was a lot of people.
The whole week.
The whole town was just doing that. So
it was pretty crazy.
It was a gig. Real quick, Amazon, I'm pissed. Amazon's quitting their app on Android.
Yeah. That means you're not going to be able to buy anything.
You're more worried about me checking on you is the deal. Because
I don't know what you're talking about.
I love the Amazon app on Android.
I love the one on Amazon. I'm Apple.
Well, they didn't say they were discontinuing that one.
All right.
They said the one on Android in August is going away. I'm like, I use that to check on stuff all the time.
I'm sorry.
That's very upsetting.
I'm sorry.
Also, a thing crossed my phone right before we went live today. Elon Musk was reaffirming his offer to Wikipedia. $1 billion if you'll change your name to Dickopedia. And I went, what that can't be real. And then it was the guy who owns or runs Wikipedia. He's like, well, is that offer still standing? And I goes, yeah, if you'll change it permanently, it's got to be that forever. There's the rules involved, I'm sure. So you got to change it to Dickopedia.
Does he not like it?
I don't know. I do not know any sort of a conflict. I mean, I know that Wikipedia stuff is not always perfectly accurate. They're like, well, they get some stuff wrong because it's modified by people.
Yeah, I was going to say, can anybody go in there and add to it or something?
You can add or modify, but then it goes to, there's if 10 people say left and one person says right, they post left because 10 people said it.
Oh, I see.
It's kind of a majority rule type thing. As far as I know, that's the way it seemed when it first came out. Sounds the same. So I know that everything in there is not perfectly accurate, but if you're looking up a history of a baseball team or of a president or of a battle in World War II, that stuff's pretty accurate by now. Nobody's arguing with you over it, so most of it's pretty clean. I like Wikipedia a ton.
It's the latest edition of the encyclopedia.
Yeah, but Elon's got some beef or something because it says I'll give you $1 billion if you change it to Dickopedia.
Can you imagine having FU money like that to I don't know what that would be like.
I don't either.
Just to throw that out there and I don't know.
I don't know what it'd be like to have fuck you money. I don't know. I don't have any idea.
Insane. So everyone wants to know why we missed Tuesday, bottom of the
Oh.
glass at the Minden Studios because what was the Minden Studio snowed in?
Yeah,
Flooded?
it was snowed
Mm-hmm.
in. We couldn't get to the compound, so the plows weren't running that day.
The Sun Valley Fox, who's the custodian there,
Yeah,
he failed to clean.
His John Deere lawnmower with the snowplow broke, and he couldn't get out in the driveways.
the studio was not cleaned and ready for us.
You know, the Sun Valley Fox has a snowplow, but if there's anything over 6 inches deep, it's not effective. So
Plus, he doesn't go outside in 6
No,
inches deep of snow.
he will in shorts. He walk out there.
No.
Your brother walk out in shorts and flip flops
And
and
a
go
tank top.
and a tank top. Yeah. Actually, I was show prep went well all the way. I was got some really fun ideas for the show for Tuesday night, and it was close to time. It was about 3:30, 4 o'clock maybe.
We were getting ready to finish
Yeah,
the
we're
setup.
getting ready to start setting up the lights and cameras and stuff, and I just started hurting. My chest started to hurt. It wasn't like a heart attack. Don't think I was
still
not.
think it was that hiatal hernia
It
acted
could
up.
be, but it was
Because you
it-
made the comment of having a soda and
Yeah.
like you got indigestion.
As
and
soon as I
that's-
drank this soda, and this is a dumb way to describe it, but I didn't drink a lot of it, even because Donna was mad that she had to throw out 7/8 of the soda.
No,
She's shaking it in front of me. Are you sure you don't want to finish this? And,
No, they do recycling. That's why she shook it.
well, I took a couple swallows. This is a dumb way to describe it. It felt like it foamed up twice as much or 3 times as much as a normal soda drink. I mean, like I could feel it foaming up. I don't know. It was weird. That didn't hurt. That didn't bother me. But within an hour, all of a sudden my chest was hurting. I couldn't breathe deep. I was breathing really shallow. Then my head started to hurt. And I'm like, okay, I can't do the show. I can't even fake it. I can't even say, give me medicine and let me fake it. And I hadn't had alcohol, in 4 or 5 days. I mean, it's not like it was alcohol related.
I think it was a little stressed. I think it was the hiatal hernia. I
hit
think
me,
it was
and
just, I felt bad because we left before dinner, but
Oh, I missed out the barbecue. I missed everything. I missed the
Yeah.
barbecue. I missed the show, and it was going to be a fun show. And I just collapsed. And then you know what happened when I got back to the hotel?
You went
It
to
was
bed.
6:30 or so, 6 o'clock, and I fell in that bed dying. I'm like, I can't move.
Yeah.
But I also knew that it wasn't time to call Dr. McDreamy. I didn't need to call, Dr. McDreamy. If there was something I thought I couldn't handle, or you thought, hey, this is bad, we'd
Right.
have called them and said, hey, here's the symptoms. I knew it was something that it would work through. It was just something messed up in me, but I couldn't function. I just needed to go sleep it off. And I didn't even eat anything for dinner until like that night, 8 or 9. And even then I had a small slice of pizza. I didn't,
Yeah.
and drank lots of water, but it was so bad. I had to miss the show. I felt so bad because everybody wanted to see the show, and I was ready.
I know.
I had all my stuff ready to go.
I know.
It was just, it wasn't good.
have you talked to Marcy Zola? MarcyZola.com?
MarcyZola.com. The last time I spoke to Marcy was when she was helping me with the Shopify site with those supplements. She was clearing
yeah.
medicine, vitamins and supplements, and getting rid of all the garbage ones, and these ones are okay. And she was still looking. She was busy, but she was looking for a small finance company to help people just for a couple $1,000.
I know she's been busy since she jumped on board with this other company.
Yeah, she
kind of
jumped on
thing,
board with
so-
the other company. Plus, her father passed away. She's been dealing with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot, but she's working to get a finance company to help her, to help patients who don't have a lot of upfront money to spread out some payments.
Oh, smart.
It's going to be huge once she gets that, and she gets that in line. Then we can turn around and tell, because we got 85 people ready to go. They just like, I don't have the money to do it. I can make a payment, but I can't.
Right.
I just can't do the
That's
whole
good.
chunk.
That would be very helpful.
Oh, it'd be
to a lot of people.
That is, in my opinion, that's the gate keeping people from flooding MarcyZola.com. If there was a finance company that just had average financing for average consumers, just like you do when you go buy a spa, they say, well, if you don't have money for this $5,000 spa, we have a finance company.
She should look into that. Affirm.
Affirm would be a good one. Yeah, we should.
They
tell
have
her
a
that.
lot of.
They have a lot of programs.
A lot of that because they do travel and they do all kinds of things.
Yeah, Affirm is good. You know what? I need to call Affirm for her and find out. She doesn't have time, but if I could find out a lot of the information and explain what we're trying to do, then I could just call Marcy and go, here, call these people. They're waiting for your call.
Yeah, because it's an app too. Affirm's an app.
Yeah, it's
so
just,
you can do it
that's
all there.
Why didn't you tell me that a month ago?
It just came to my head just now.
That's a great idea, guy. That would
Sorry.
I'm telling you, you could put I'm telling you, 50 to 100 people in the first month if they could get
that's
her on
really
board.
going to be busy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I haven't talked to marcyzola.com, but absolutely there's people out there that want to become pain-free in a simple surgical way without changing your entire life, no, this is the way to do it. It's just tough.
So I have something just came in my head.
All right.
When we drive up to the Reno area, we usually call his parents or his mom specifically.
Mine, not Dr. McDreamy's.
No. Yeah. Mine are gone. It's not my parents.
Well, we're talking about Marcy.
Oh, okay. We call the general's parents.
Mother. Yes.
Mother. And coming home, we do the same thing. We kind of check in when we're driving, there and back. So on the way back, we get your dad.
Yeah, because
you
can't find my mom. He's walking through the house screaming her name, and she's not answering.
Yeah, while we're on the phone, he's like yelling.
You hear him, but holds the phone away. Hello, honey, are you there? Honey, did you pick up?
We can almost hear her in the background saying something, but no.
Yeah.
But he told us a story that he was really worried about the dogs. Remember?
Oh, he got all upset like he was going to cry.
I thought he had a broken heart, like bad. But your mom he did a mistake, so your mom put him on dog duty. Remember?
Yeah, she says.
So tell him what happened.
Well, the dog. I guess my dad got all emotional. I mean, he's getting ready to cry, telling me the story that the dog ate a popsicle stick.
Well, he ate the ice cream. And then supposedly the dog got the popsicle stick.
Yeah, and my dad's chasing it around, and it won't give him, and it's chewing it up and eating it. My dad's, no.
And this is a big lab.
It's a big dog.
Black lab.
My dad's a big guy, but he's old, and he's fumbling around the house. The dog eats the popsicle stick, and now they're worried, the dog's going to die or the dog's going to have a problem. And my dad's all heartbroken. I couldn't sleep that night. I tossed and turned all night, and I've watched the dog all night. So my mom had to go to her card club. She has a card club with little ladies with gray hair.
She made him sit
and she goes, you sit here and you watch this dog until I get back. Don't burn down the house, and you watch the dog.
That's the story he tells us. That's what he had to tell us.
So I had to sit there. And he goes, your mother's making me watch the dog while she goes plays cards. You can't watch golf on TV. Nothing.
Nothing. You got to sit there and watch the dog. I thought that was so funny.
You know who else I talked to?
Who?
RJG. Now,
really?
Those of you who don't know RJG,
that's going way back.
Way back with Gen X Talks and the Bottom Glass Nation shows. He was part of the World shows, and he was the one who drew the artwork of the bus that is so famous on Gen X Talks.
And some shirts going way back.
And some shirts.
When we first started getting going.
And he had some other artwork he did. He's just super talented. And then all of a sudden, about a year and a half ago, he disappears.
Yes.
And he won't answer emails. He won't answer phone calls because I had his number. And then he pops up and he says, I think him and his son had gotten in a car accident. I know he did. I think his son was in it too. And it was super bad.
It was bad.
And he was in the hospital for weeks. And anyway, so now it's been a year and a half. And I reached out to him again, and he wrote me back. And I'm like, holy shit, it's you. And he says, well, my dad's cancer has not progressed. We stopped it, but I'm a full-time caregiver for him.
Yeah, I knew his dad was
sick. I guess one of his arms still doesn't work very well. He can't do anything with it. His son is better and doing well. But now, RJG's home. And he's trying very hard to balance a life of taking care. He says churches and neighbors and friends have come to help and do stuff. And this is not just for a week. This guy's been doing this for over a year and a half. So, I'm going to see if there's something I can't do to help him. I'm going to reach out to him today. We've been gone, so I haven't written him back. But I got a big letter. In fact, I want to read you something.
Oh my goodness!
No, there's just one part that's breaking my heart. That I gotta deal with it when I talk to him today.
You mean from his email?
Yeah, this is the last part of his email. He says, remember, I miss all of you guys and hope to return under better circumstances soon. Give my warmest regards to Mrs. Four.
Oh, shoot.
A high five to Briggs and respectful hug to the Queen and a beer to the Bottom of Glass Nation. And then he wrote on, but he doesn't know that Mrs. Four passed away.
Oh, no.
And he was very close to her in the show.
That's right.
They
forgot about
all
that.
The time in the show, in the chat, and he doesn't know.
Oh my goodness.
So I have to tell him that today. That's not going to be
good.
No, and that'll be a little bit of of a sad thing there. But I'm glad he's doing better now, where he's functioning, because it's been closer to 2 years now that
it's been
having
quite a
problems.
while.
But he wants to come back. He wants to be there. He just doesn't. He's working on time. So.
Wow.
Anyway, so I want to tell you something else came across the phone. Not only am I mad at Amazon trying to figure out Elon and Wikipedia, but okay, if anybody out there has a pen and paper, just write this down real quick. Okay, do you have a pen and paper?
No.
Okay, good.
All right, I have a pen and paper.
Okay, write down 370.
370.
Capital H.
Capital H.
55 V as in Victor.
55 V as in Victor.
Yeah. And so that's a license plate. That's a custom license plate in Texas. And Texas has told this guy, you have to remove your license plate.
I've heard this one.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't hear this one until today. And they're having this whole news article. And towards the middle of the news article, the reporter says, and you at home still haven't figured out what the problem is either. I said, no, I'm looking right at it. What's 37?
I think it's very creative.
I think it's dumb. I didn't get it. Then they said, well, turn the license plate upside down.
Uh-huh.
Not read it backwards, turn it upside down. And then it kind of says the V is really an A, the 5s are S's, so it kind of says asshole.
I think it's great.
And I just went, okay, first of all, that's really hard to decipher. I could have followed that license plate for 20 miles and not known what it meant.
Somebody really...
No, somebody have to tell me. Somebody have to tell me to do that. And then the V is supposed to be an A. It's like, okay, I guess.
They might be stretching.
Yeah, it's like...
It could possibly be stretching,
and the state of Texas is like, well, you can't do that. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it is
now
really...
Now they've brought it to the attention to everybody, so everybody knows what it is.
And every state's going to do that.
Yeah, and if everybody would just shut up, nobody would have known.
Know. Every state's going to have a person. Somebody in California is going to go apply for a custom license plate that says that, and in Oregon and in Idaho, everyone's going to have
for sure
one of those. I didn't even care, because it's like, to me, that's a stretch.
Yeah,
that's a stretch. Whatever.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so something hit X, Twitter today.
Oh, your mail now. Something hit your world. Okay, what hit your world?
Because this is kind of major.
Well, I gave you 3 things that hit my world. Okay, your turn.
Okay, so I started questioning it because I saw it from somebody random. But as I was reading my rag magazine this morning, it kept coming up, and I was like, oh, this is going to hit it. They're saying Obama's birth certificate has been proven that it's not real, that he was not born in the USA.
Okay.
I want to know, how do you feel about that?
I'm not surprised. I mean, now with all the stuff we're learning that the Democrats have been covering up and the media has been covering up for them for so long. Did you know that, Politico is a news organization that is heavily for the Democrats? It squashes every Democrat story. It finds out it exaggerates everything about Republicans. Their employees couldn't cash their paychecks today.
Oh, why?
Because Doge found out that they were supplying like $8 million a year or something to Politico.
Just because?
Just because, like, well, this is an independent news organization. We need to promote independent. Like NPR. And they cut their funding and said, fuck you. You guys are biased assholes. They cut their funding and their checks didn't cash.
Ouch.
So this is another thing. This is the government. This is Democrats supporting different things and the media covering up different things hand in hand. Does it surprise me that the Obama birth certificate thing finally got uncovered? No, not at all. So
what is that? Okay, so he was ineligible to be president, if this is true.
If this is true, yeah.
So...
And a 3-term senator from Illinois before that. He shouldn't have been that either. That's
right. Well, so what do you do about that? Does that...
Actually, wait a minute. I take that back. I think you can be a senator I think you can be an immigrant and be a senator. I do believe. I take that back. I think that
because you can be a governor, not be a.
Yeah,
because and I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor of California.
Ilhan Omar is from another country too. So
okay.
I take that back. Senator, he probably was
let's just work on the presidency. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So. If he was illegitimate, I love that, illegitimate son to be president.
That's one way to put it.
What about all the executive orders he signed? So technically, he was...
I know where you're going with this. I don't think that you can unwind the presidency. I don't even know if there's a mechanism in our constitutions or the presidential bylaws. I don't think there's even a mechanism in place to undo it. I think you're kind of just stuck with it. It's like he was sworn in as president. He was verified as president. He was voted in as president. He's the president. Well, he shouldn't have been, you say. Okay, too bad. He was. Now, if there's a way to unseat him. This isn't like the Heisman Trophy. You can't take the Heisman Trophy
So are we
back.
going to asterisk the presidency now? Like we
Maybe
did?
that's the like Barry Bonds home run ball. Yeah.
Yes. Or Mark McGuire doing
Yeah, so many home runs in a season, 63 home runs in a season.
him and Soto. They have the asterisks for.
Yeah, I think that's maybe the most you could do. I'm not a constitutional scholar. I don't know.
It'll be interesting to hear
But
the discussion about
if you could say, if it's proven to be true and finally accepted, because the media is in a lot of shambles too. They're not nearly as strong as they used to be. They can't just ram it down everyone's throat.
Right.
If it becomes generally accepted that that's the case, kind of like, yeah, he shouldn't have been president, but what are you going to do? It's too late now. I think the most you'd get is an asterisk. That's it, because unless you can undo the presidency and say, I'm invalidating his presidency, I don't think you could change one thing. Now, and think about this. Now that I'm thinking about it, go a little deeper. Let's say you were President Trump. Let's say you were Congress right now and the Senate. Let's say everybody met in the Oval Office and said, "Hey, we did find a way to delegitimize his presidency." Let's say they figured out a way to do it.
Okay.
Would you? Now think about all the treaties he signed. Think about all the executive orders he signed and were undone. Think about all the government contracts.
That means Obamacare gets taken away.
Well, all the contracts that his administration becomes invalid.
I guess it would just be a big, huge freaking mess.
That could have reaching impacts around the world for things that are still in place.
Well, I have two comments with this. One, I think this is a huge nail in the coffin with the Democratic Party.
It's another, yeah, for sure.
Because you cannot tell me that they did not know.
No,
not with this.
No, this is another thing, along with all the troubles they're already having. We're like, okay, I think the Republicans and the news media, the legitimate news media, should just say, "Yeah, we figured as much. We knew you were a bunch of assholes."
Because they buried the story every time it came up.
You lied about it. You buried the story. You made fun of us. Turns out it was true. Like all the other bullshit. I think it just stacks the chips against them again and going, yeah, one more thing we found out. You guys, it just gives them one more thing to try to overcome.
Yeah, but this is pretty major. So what I'm saying is, with this happening, this is a strong point with the Republican Party and Trump to do voter registration, ID, and mail-in ballots going back.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is coming. It's a big thing.
It's going to, I think, over the next month, let's see what kind of legs this has. Let's just see how much the story, I just saw it this morning. So let's just see, does this take front and center stage with CNN, with MSNBC? Do they actually turn and start reporting? Why wouldn't MSNBC report it correctly to give themselves credibility? Because they know it's not going to get changed anyway. So why not report it accurately right now? Why wouldn't CNN say, "Hey, we got it wrong, but we're getting it right"? They can't. They're not going to go back and change it. So just come clean. And you know what? They won't.
The other thing is, Obama's done.
Yeah,
he will not be able to be the face of the Democratic Party.
I think this really hurts that they were pushing for Michelle Obama to be something.
Michael Obama.
Michelle Obama in place of Kamala, and it didn't work out. But I think this ruins her chances at being head of the party of any kind at all too. So yeah, I don't think anything can change. I just think it's like you said, it's a nail in the coffin. But you got to see, this may just flash by in a 24-hour news cycle. It may just get dismissed as, who cares? Well,
it kind of will. They're, like you said, if there's nothing they can do about it, it's just a piece of news. That's what it is.
Well,
but
it's not.
It's just going to make the citizens just be hyper aware of all this stuff.
Or it just may be one more small thing where everybody goes, figures. But it's one more thing.
And it's another thing where Trump goes, I was right again. He could
Yeah.
just he could be arrogant and go, I was right again. Says,
So can I tell everybody the story on how you threw up your papers in the air and punched me in the arm in the truck? Please. It was right after breakfast. Come on.
oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
We're trying to move up we bought the piece of property in Dayton. It's just bare land, needs a lot of work. And we're trying to figure, okay, live in a fifth wheel. Can we get a mother-in-law house built? Can we get a barn dominium? And we're not ready yet because the county moves so slow. We don't have a place to live while we build. So I finally just said, look, we just got to rent a place. And you didn't want to, and I don't really want to either. It's a big waste of money, but we need to have a place that we can launch from to do stuff. So we need to rent a place. So I turned this over to you because I swear to Christ Almighty, everything we're doing in this move, I'm taking care of a ton of it, like 90%. 10% I shuffle off to you and go, look, I'm carrying the load here. Can you do this?
Would you like to pack?
No, I don't want to pack. That's your part.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing.
That's not your only part. I said, all I asked you to do was find us a place to rent in
I spent
or around.
all day Saturday before we left setting up appointments.
Yeah, the truth is she has spent about 2 weeks cultivating because you have to learn the area. She has to call her other relatives and friends. Hey, what about this area? What about that area? Where should we be looking? Because we don't know. And so she spends about 10 days.
I had other things to do Saturday, but I gave it up for you.
Oh, thank you. So there we are. And she's spent about a week to 10 days with phone calls and emails. And she sets up all these appointments for Tuesday, Wednesday, was it?
Monday, Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday. That's right. And so we have breakfast at the GSR. We get in the truck. We pull out into the parking lot. We stop in the parking lot just to kind of finalize what we're doing and where we're going.
And let me say, this was my motive finding a house. I wanted Dayton, of course, because we live there. Then my second choice was Minden,
right,
or Gardnerville, there.
Near
because
your brother.
I don't want to be in the big city. And the last thing was Reno.
Right.
And everything I found was in the Reno area, most of it.
Well,
Carson City was another one.
Yeah, no dogs was a big one.
Oh,
we have two
no
dogs.
pets was huge.
And then here's the other thing I found, and I haven't had to rent a house in 25 years.
Yeah, I know.
And so you go to rent one, and you don't talk to anybody.
I know.
Everyone's all, fill out the application online, fill out for the credit check.
And it's like $35.
And we'll let you know. And I'm like, fuck you. And every one of them, when you actually get a hold of a person at a realtor firm that does these, or one of those agencies that brokers apartments and houses, you finally get to talk to somebody. They say, listen, we don't care. Their houses are in short supply in the Reno area. So what we do, this is what a nice lady finally told me. She said, we just tell people to fill out the application and the credit check, and we'll get 35 to 50 applications per house. And I said, well,
that's a money maker for them.
Yeah. How do I get my application to the front of the line? She goes, you don't. We look real quick at everyone's credit score. We take all the top credit scores first. Then we go by age, how long you've been on your job. I'm like, well, I've been out of work. I've been semi-retired for 4 years, and I work on a social media that my son owns. What do you mean? And they're like, well, that's not going to look good. So we're never. Even if we get to see these houses, we're not at the front of I actually have to go in for 2 days, and you and I have to be charming and wonderful to every person we meet on houses we don't really want, because almost all of them were 2-story, which I'm not a fan of.
I didn't want, yeah.
All of them were like, we'll take your dog, but we don't like it. And most of them were far outside of town in the wrong direction.
Right.
It's like we have to drive through town to get, it's like, So we're sitting in the parking lot after breakfast Monday morning, and you're frustrated and you're going on and got these 8 appointments.
It's like I told you, we have an appointment in like a half an hour, and I really don't like this house. And you said, why are we going?
I said, what are we
I'm
going?
like, because I'm running out of choices.
And we know that if we don't do this now, come May, there won't be any.
Right.
The housing market all the rentals will be taken up. They'll be gone. They disappear. So we know we have to go now.
Right.
So we're sitting there in the truck. This is a true story. And she got all of her paperwork there, and she's got her pencil in her teeth, and she's using her phone, and she's putting addresses into the GPS. And I'm sitting there staring out the window and looking at the snow on the mountains. And all of a sudden I thought, I'm going to try something. So I went on to Craigslist Reno.
You are a Craigslist whore.
I am a Craigslist whore.
Yes, you are.
I went on to Craigslist Reno, and I just typed in home for rent by owner.
Yes.
Came up with the one, so I called it. Now, I dialed the phone, and my phone was connected to the truck.
Yes.
So this lady goes, hello. Now, you look over at me, you're like,
Who are you calling?
who are you calling? I'm trying to get us set for all of our appointments. And I'm like, I put the little shush.
I'm almost like, this is not helping.
I'm like, I put the shush. I'm trying to do business here. Don't talk while I'm doing business. Don't say people. I'm doing business, man. And I said, hey, just bought a small piece of land in Dayton, and we're looking for a place, and your house is near where my brother-in-law lives. Is it still available? She goes, yeah, it is. And I'm thinking, well, this is a person, not a corporation. Maybe I could say, well, do you mind when can I come look at it? She goes, oh, we're about 15 minutes from the house. You come look now if you want. And I said, okay, let me just head out there. So I told her a little bit about us. Mm-hmm. And then we started to drive, and you were like, what are you doing? I said, well, this house is the right price that I'm looking for. All of yours are more.
Right.
This house is in Minden, a few blocks from your brother. All of your houses are 60 miles away. And this is with a person, not a fucking corporation. And you threw your papers in the air, you punched me in the arm, and you said, just go, drive then.
I was so mad.
And so, and it's not a done deal. We still might have had to go to all your appointments. So we drove out there. And as we're driving, you said, well, you didn't ask them if they even take dogs. Uh-huh. And I said, listen, I'm not going to stop the whole process right now. Let me go out there and spend some this woman. Let me be charming in person. Let me win her over. And if she likes us, then we could bring up the dogs. If she tells us she doesn't like us,
right.
Then no big deal. So we get out there. We met her there. It's a small house. What do they call it?
They call it a patio home.
It's kind of like
almost like a duplex, but not a duplex.
It's not connected like a duplex.
Not, yeah.
It's
a single story, but it's just kind of
it's
not
weird.
A big backyard, not a big front yard.
I've seen townhouses but the townhouse is attached like an apartment.
Right,
but
they're not attached. They are separate houses.
It was a house with a garage, and the backyard was about 50 square feet, but it was called an apartment house, and it's
a patio house.
A patio house. And it's in a very small neighborhood. Like the street is wide enough for a fire truck. And they tell you don't park in the street. And I'm like, well, I don't care, because I don't care if there's homeowners associations here. And I'm not doing anything.
Right.
I'm not building or doing anything here. I just need a place to launch from. And so we get in there and we talk to her for a little bit and said, here's what we're thinking, here's what we're doing. And she goes, oh, must be so exciting to build a house. And we've wanted to do that, my husband and I. And so you went and looked at the whole house, and she says, aren't you going to go look at the house? And I said, no. I said, if my wife tells me that we can fit in here and our stuff will fit we'll put the rest of it in storage. This house is about exactly half the size of the house we live in. And I don't care. I said, I don't care if this is fine with me. It's single story. And then she asked, do you have dogs? And I said, we got 2 medium-sized dogs. She goes, okay, no problem. And we really got along well.
Yeah,
I think we were the same age group as her, so we got along well. And so we said, well, we'll give you our information.
My only trepidation was the laundry. There's not a laundry room. It's in the hallway, and it's like a closet. And it would not fit my washer and dryer. And I came out and told her, I'm like, well, you asked me. And I'm like, well, I love the house. I can make it work. But I'm a little concerned about the laundry.
And she said she'd make something work for us one way or the other. She really was like, no.
She was very accommodating to this whole thing, because it would be like us having to buy. There wasn't a washer and dryer in this. No,
you had to have a top and bottom unit or something like that to make it work. So it was good. No, I got it. It was
but she was very accommodating and very nice.
Agreeable. And she says, I'll tell you what, I'll send you over a PDF file. You fill out the information on there. And then
she even said, she goes, it's just, she goes, I'm very chill. That's what she goes. I'm very chill. She goes, but yes, it's a formality. You guys have to fill out an application. But we didn't have to put a fee down for the application.
So we go back to, it was only a few, like literally 6 or 7 minutes from Sun Valley Fox's house, from your brother's house. We go back over there, and we're sitting down, and she sends to my phone the PDF file. We filled it out and sent it back, and she goes, okay, well, if you're agreeable,
we'll meet tomorrow.
So there we are. Within 2 hours of making that phone call, we've pretty much got a house lined up at the price we were looking for, a couple blocks from your brother.
I know.
I mean, everything we could ask for. They took dogs. And the next day we went and signed the paper and gave him the money, and we got the keys and we were ready to go.
Yeah. You didn't see the one thing that I just went, oh, when my mouth dropped open, I went, oh, from the master bedroom window.
Yeah.
And like possibly the office or another bedroom. If you look out there, you can see Tahoe.
Yeah.
You could see the building
it's
of
a
South
beautiful
Lake
view.
Tahoe. It's
Which
that
we only
close.
get this for as long as we live here, because Dayton, you can't see those mountains from
No, but I was just like, whoa, because it has a ton of snow on
that's
it.
the
It's
Sun
just
Valley
like,
Fox's $1.2 million
but we're
view.
a lot closer than him.
Oh, come on. No. Is that you're going to rub that in his face? Well, we're closer to those views than you.
Yes.
We see it before you do.
And the nice thing about the location is it's like a couple blocks from 395, the main
Yep.
drag, which
And
goes
the
right
little-
through town.
And the
so.
little town of Minden.
Yeah.
And there's lots of walking trails around those marshland things. They built little bridges and paths. So, I didn't care about that. Now that I'm old, it seems nice. It seems like a good thing. So it was there's one yawn. Over
I'm
under
sorry.
a 6 today.
I'm
so
sorry.
what was
I almost
funny
made
about
it.
all this was that the humorous part is that, she spends 10 days feverishly working on this, and she's in the truck and she can't get anything going like she wants to. And then smart ass husband comes along within one phone call. Bam, we're done. And I did something I shouldn't have done when we were all done with this. And she's half telling this story to St. Donna and Sun Valley Fox, like, look what we did. She's half proud, and she's half looking at me like, you're such an asshole. Why didn't you just do this in the beginning?
I should know better because that's how you work. That's how we got the first, all the other places that we stayed at practically.
I just don't want to. I just figured, I'm looking at you and I'm going, I don't want to go to any of these places. I don't want to pay any of these prices. And I want to live in a 2-story house.
So rude.
So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to do it the old Irish way. So I just made it. I didn't know if it was going to work, but just.
Yes, you did.
Just
Don't lie.
I'm much better in person.
Yes, you are.
So, yeah, that was our story. She was pissed. She did throw her paper. She did punch me. But in the end, you love me. And that was a good thing, right?
Yeah, it worked out fine.
You know what's funny is that on your phone and my phone, I'll tell everybody this. All these places that kind of blew us off, like, I'm sorry, turn in your application with a drop of your blood and give us $1,000 before we even speak to you. That was their attitude.
I know my email and my phone are blowing up.
Because they're like, well, where are you? I thought you were interested. I thought you wanted to come view the house. We had you set up for a showing. And we're like, we went through the procedure and we canceled all of the showings. We didn't just not show up.
Right.
We responded to you guys. We let you know we weren't coming.
And then there's a few that I sent out on Saturday before we went, and they're responding yesterday. It took them 5 days to respond
those
to my
people-
inquiry.
The ones that you did with my phone, when they do that, say, well, we're responding. Are you still interested? I write back and go, you took too long. I found something else.
Yes, that's what I'm going to be doing with all the
I
other
do
stuff
all the right
today.
now. I'm like, sorry, you took too long. I don't give a shit. So this is a small house in Minden. I do love the little tiny neighborhood. This will fit us, but it's a downsize, and I just need a place to start from. I really don't care. I just need a place to
No,
wake
I'm
up.
looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting in there. It's a nice, clean, fairly new place too.
Yeah.
It's not an old house. It looks really good.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
That's what happened on our trip.
Yeah.
Oh, so we were hanging out at my brother's house when we weren't doing all that other stuff, and I heard you talking to my brother about the Shopify.
Yeah.
The Shopify, our shop
Yeah,
at
the Gen X
Shopify.
Talks store. I showed him some of the stuff that I was coming up with. He seemed to think it was pretty cool, the designs and stuff.
He's going to come up with his own ideas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everything I showed him, he didn't say, can I buy one? It wasn't any of that. No support. No local
hell
support
no.
at all. He didn't say, can I buy one of those? Let me support Gen X Talks. Let me buy a few T-shirts. No. But
Hey, he is taking care of the Mendenhall studio right now. The Minden studio.
Minden Studio. And he's so he's sitting there and he's looking at everything, and he did like it. He liked the things that I was showing him, but I was trying to tell him what we're doing and how we're going about it.
I know. Well, how much longer until we go live?
We could go live. The store is live right now. We have
Live for...
Well, no, it's not public.
Okay.
It's live because Danny H, Disney kid who's on staff, Steve Plum. I'm going to say his name was Jeremy Birkenhagen. That guy.
Very good.
Anyway, those guys have all, there's been a few people that have bought things and more. I'm missing some names. And they're beta testing it. They wait for the products to arrive and they tell us this doesn't look good. this is not good quality, so we pull it. So we've gone through a bunch of those, and we've found most of it's good. Most of it
That's
turns
good.
out really well. And Steve Plum didn't like the hat, so he had to return it. I never done a return before. I had to learn. So I'm thankful that Steve took time. He's like, Steve Plum was awesome. He's like, look, man, let's just go through the procedure. You figure out how to set it up. I'll send it. Well, and I'm not done with that yet, but at least he's being very patient, because
good.
without knowing how to do the return, what if we went live and we had 50 returns and I don't know how to do it?
Right.
Or it's not set up. So Steve's helping with that.
Well, is it going to be? Are we going to have to interact with the returns, or will the program do
no,
it?
there is some stuff we have to do with the returns.
It's not going to automatically
No,
just
you can do. I
kind
think
of like Amazon. You know how when you go make a return, you don't talk to a person or do it.
I
It's
think there's a way for the whole thing is a shipping label. I think there's a way for them to print their own return shipping label if we authorize it. So I got to look at that, but I got it done manually this time. And so other than the printing of the return label, I got to figure that part out. Yeah, I think we wouldn't have to, but right now we do.
All right.
If there was a return. But so when can we go live? I don't want everything to be Gen X Talks everything on the store. I've made a bunch of stuff that's Star Wars or Disney look-alike. Generational humor. I'll tell you what, I look at other people's stuff and I go, that's funny, but I could make that better.
Oh my gosh.
I do. I look at all their stores and I'm like, that t-shirt sells? That's a funny little saying, but you guys didn't knock it out of the park with that. You guys, it should have been this image or, it just doesn't look right.
You mean
to
a
me.
Gen Xer probably didn't make it?
I don't know who made somebody lazy made it. So I'm taking my time and putting a lot of stuff up there that's nostalgia.
Yeah.
There's even a category in our store called nostalgia.
That's cool.
And so I'm trying to fill that up so it's not just people for Gen X Talks, but it may catch on, hey, this site's got some really cool shit in there. And where people just put up t-shirts, I'm putting it on the really cool ones. I'm putting it on a mug. I'm putting it on a whiskey glass. I'm putting it on a plug-in speaker. It's just,
oh my gosh.
There's some cool stuff in there, but I just think that I look at the things that are out there and go, yeah, I could do that a little better.
All right.
So it'll go live for everyone as soon as we've got the what we've tested to be inferior products, like those aren't really that cool. Pulling those off.
Yeah.
People liking everything they've ordered so far, and then having a variety of just generational nostalgia stuff. So it's not all just Gen X Talks. Then I think we should go live, but we still have to connect it to the stores. Like, we'll put it out there live for everybody, but then you still have to connect it to YouTube.
We were talking about that.
Where they can hit the store button. But that's fucked up because you tried to do it before. Now there's a block on it that I haven't been able to figure out with Google.
Yeah, there's a Google merchant
problem.
Something,
Then
yeah.
Facebook has the same issue. And I don't know if any of the other platforms have store buttons already built in, but it sure be nice to link it to store button where people want something.
But I really appreciate you taking the burden off the store with me. Now I can focus on moving, and I'm not going to have the same office space as I have now. So
not till we build something. No.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit. So
we'll probably be in that rental for sure a year. I'm guessing it takes to build a house to where you can move in. I'm guessing about a year to a year and a half. I'm fine with that.
That's going to go fast.
It goes a lot. Yeah, it goes fast. I don't think living in a fifth wheel with 2 dogs and a brigger and having my truck sitting outside in the mud sinking is the way to go.
it's a good idea.
I think it's better just to spend the money, and if it takes longer, it does.
Well,
so.
St. Donna and I were already saying, like, you and the Sun Valley Fox can take off to the property, and we get to stay home and bake cookies.
Yeah.
You guys can go take care of
Speaking of your brother.
Uh-oh.
I got 2 things to say.
Just 2?
Just 2. I'm
That's
holding
it?
back. That's it. So your
All right, I'm
brother
gonna hold you through that.
is older and wiser, and he tells this story when we're trying to decide where we should live. He goes, no, you should live in Dayton. You should live in Dayton. And there's not much snow there. We get snow here, but it goes away. But there's not much snow. You're fine. Just go look in Dayton. You want some product? Go. So we go out there, and we buy the property, and on one way out of town, I start noticing there's snow markers 8 feet tall on the side of the road.
Yes, and there was something else I pointed out to you.
There's a whole section right outside of Dayton, like a mile outside of Dayton, pull over here to put your chains on.
That's what I know. I was like, if it doesn't snow that much here, why would they have this?
Right. So we go back to your brother's, and I jump out of the truck and say, hey, what the fuck, man? He's like,
It's too late. We bought the property.
He's like, it's just precautionary. You know, they never use that. So I'm getting this. Here it is. There's the Dayton snow story. No, you can move to Dayton. He explains the snow. So I said, well, you know, I want to put some trees up on the property around the whole, the whole west side of the property. I want to put some big, thick, tall trees. He goes, you can put up pine trees. And I said, well, pine trees take forever to grow. He goes, oh, no. Come over here. He shows me these row of pine trees on the side of his house that are like 15 feet tall. And I'm like, no, I want 25, 30. I go, I got trees in my yard that are 60 feet tall. I want something like that. He goes, well, you have to go pine trees. I said, okay, how long do these pine trees take to get to 12 to 15 feet? He goes, was it 20 years? I go, no fucking way. I go, no,
we're going to be dead in 20 years.
I'm leaving. I'm walking away. He's like, what are you talking about? This is good. Here we go. It's another snow story. It's another snow story. No. Now there's pine trees that grow faster, and you could do more with this. I'm like, I've heard this before from you. This is just another Dayton snow story.
It sounds like a big fish story.
Yeah, it's another story. It's not going to be true. It's a bunch of bullshit is what it is.
Oh, my gosh.
I really am upset. You know, I don't mind that your brother lies to me. It's okay. But he lies about nature. He lies about snow.
Oh, my God.
He lies about pine trees, and that is something I can't abide. You can't lie about nature.
Oh, my goodness.
He already told me when I was marrying you that you were wonderful. Now, that was a lie, too.
I see the future coming as soon as we're at even in the rental property, and it snows and it's like 3 feet. You're going to take a picture and go,
hey, so thankful there's no snow out here. Why don't you come dig me out? But I will tell you something.
That's funny.
Your brother, I mentioned to you this in passing, but it's kind of weird. Your brother and I talk seriously and we joke about stuff, and we plan out things and run through stories in our mind, and it's kind of funny because if we both start talking about, well, you could do this and build that and have this and grate this and dig a hole here, and at the end of it, I think the picture in his mind and my mind are very similar at the end.
That's cool.
By the time we've done discussing what you can change, what you can do, I bet if we drew it out, our picture would be almost identical because of the way we discuss things. But more important than that, and this is very rare. I've only had 2 people in my life that were able to do this, and it's not intentional. I find every now and then your brother will mention something casual to me, or he'll text me something, and it changes the way I think, or it inspires me with just a sentence. And he's not doing it on purpose. He's not like waiting for my response to see if he motivated me. He just is passing along some arbitrary wisdom or thought. And I sit back and go, you know what? I should do that. I need to change this and head that. Or he'll say something. I'll go, yeah, you know what? I can fucking pull my bootstraps up and get going here. And the only other person the only 2 other people that have been able to do that with me in passing like that are my grandfather, who was the greatest man I ever knew. And he could sit there and in very few words go, well, here's what I think you should think about, and tell you something, and then walk away. And you're like, holy shit, that's a book I need to open now. It's so profound.
Yeah.
The other one was your mother.
Oh, yeah.
Her and I spent a lot of time together those last few years, and just her and I'd stop by and bring her lunch or what, and she'd listen, and we'd talk about things, and then she would drop what I would call a pearl of wisdom, but she was just talking casually because it didn't take her 35 paragraphs to make a point. Mm-hmm. She'd seen a lot. She's 80 years old. She's seen a lot of stuff on this planet. She's been through a lot of stuff. And she could narrow it down to, let's not talk about this for an hour. Let me just give you the one sentence.
Yeah.
And I want to say she was almost always right, because I would call her back and go, hey, you said this. I tried it. You were right. I went with what you said. You were right.
It's just a note and a reminder to us to spend time with older people, to listen to their wisdom. Maybe you don't always agree with it, but it's good to take it. Like I even mentioned, it was kind of cool on this last trip. My brother and I shared a couple things, and I don't know what brought it up, but I was like, our grandmother died. My mother's mom died when I was 21. So that means my brother was 35 at the time. And I didn't realize how special my grandma was when I was younger, that I told my brother, I go, man, I wish I spent more time with grandma, because my grandma used to cook without measuring. And then we started naming things that our grandmother made, and it was great. We were just, my brother and I are sharing, and I'm like, yeah, I wish I would have watched to see that done. And he goes, yeah, because, I know, my brother made stuffed cabbage. That's what it was.
Where are you going with this? I'm lost.
Yeah, my brother made that stuffed cabbage, Hungarian stuffed cabbage, while we were up there, and that's what sparked it, because grandma used to make it, then mom used to make it.
Did he spend a lot of time with your grandmother? I think we're all waiting to hear that.
Yes, he's the one we drove down. Remember the story about me driving down with him when I was 5?
Yeah.
He used to go spend time at my grandma's. That's where he crashed. He'd spend it with my grandpa.
So he did spend some time learning that stuff. Yeah,
he did. He remembers the stories, but I wish I spent more time learning the recipes. And
I was lucky with my grandparents, because I got to spend. I spent more time with them than any other grandkid, and you get close to as much time as their kids did, because I was there for so many years.
I lost my grandparents young. Part of being, the baby of the family and having 12 years between my sister. It was just I had very older grandparents.
This is kind of off topic, but as we're driving, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit to you something. As we're driving along, I'll see a sign and go, hey, look that up on Wikipedia. And I'll say,
oh yeah, we were doing that.
We do that a lot. Every time we drive, I find something.
What's my favorite road? On the trip.
Secret Town.
I love this road.
Secret Town
Road. I want to know why they named it.
Yeah, we want to go there sometime.
I want to go down it.
I always ask her, look this up. I want to know more about this mine or this road or why this pass was named this pass. And it doesn't matter which road we take. It isn't just 80, it's 395. I ask her to, because I'm really interested.
Dig a little deeper.
Yeah. So one thing that kind of hit me we listened to all these stories about people out on their own and forging out beyond. I remember as a kid, I don't know how many of you guys do, if you guys remember even cartoons, but it was cartoons, it was TV shows and movies, everything was based around a fort.
Yes.
There was always in some conversation, well, I'm way out in the middle of nowhere, you bump into Fort Nash is just a day's ride that way. The fort was like the outpost. You wanted to get to the fort. There was food. Right. There was a doctor. There was soldiers for safe and secure.
And what I tell you, it reminds me of the Oregon Trail game.
Right, like the Oregon Trail game. And
you got to keep going.
And you had to go to a fort. So, the cavalry, the U.S. Army was big on build out another fort. How many miles away to the next fort, all the way to the coast. You got to get all the way to the California coast, and then spread out these forts. And it was always a big. I'd forgotten about that, but the fort was this is the last fort.
That's where you rest.
This is the last one. Now, when you go out now, you go out 3 days. You got to get 3 days to get back to this fort.
Right.
That was a big thing back then, and I don't know.
That's what we consider rest stops.
Right.
Now. We say rest stops.
I just think that I'd be interested in knowing a little bit more about some of those forts. I know they didn't keep them all. A lot of them went.
What was the one you wanted me to look up on the way home this time? What was it? Do you remember what it was? I do. Immigrant Gap.
Oh, yeah. Was there a fort at Immigrant Gap?
No, there wasn't a fort, but there was a reason for that.
I said, why do they call it Immigrant Gap? And it was not Immigrant Gap. It was Emigrant with an E. But the thing that fascinated me was this real special cliff area where the kind of the trail stopped, and it was like 100 and some feet down.
In the Sierra Nevadas.
The trail started again.
Right. And
they lowered the wagons down by ropes.
Can you imagine a full, it says this on the thing. Immigrant Camp can you imagine the stagecoach full of their precious belongings?
Gear.
That's it. It's in that, and they're lowering it. What if they messed up and it went all the way down the cliff? I'm sure it happened.
Into a billion pieces. You're done. You've lost your Conestoga wagon. But here's the gig. It was better to do that than to go around.
Yes, that's what they said.
So in other words, somebody figured out, look, if we could just lower the wagons down to that trail, or we can spend 3 weeks
in the Sierra Nevada
going around to the next spot.
Yeah.
And someone said, get a rope or, a bunch of ropes and lower these. Now I want to go.
I know. I want to see pictures.
I want to see where this spot was. But we do a lot of that now. Everywhere we drive, we always talk the whole time. Yeah. We're like best friends with all that stuff.
Where we're moving in Dayton, a little history is where the Comstock lode happened. it happened in Virginia
City, yeah.
which is about 10 minutes from where our new property is. So
And I know,
we're going to learn about that in the gold rush. And
I know
stuff like
Virginia
that.
City is just a tourist trap right now. I know that. I
But
get
there's
that.
history there.
There's a ton of history there still. And I've driven through there now a couple times, and there's old guys sitting on benches with a pipe.
Got to hurry up and get them.
I got to sit next to that guy.
Yes,
I want to
you
go
do.
sit there and go, I just want to talk. I want to buy him a whiskey and just talk.
Yeah.
Because there's old guys sitting out there that know stuff, and I want to, and they've been there, 60 years, and I want to sit with them. So
Right.
anyway, sorry to mean to bore you guys with that thing, but that's a little bit about your brother and what he means to me and where we're going. So it's a whole. It
was a good trip,
was a
other
good
than
trip.
not feeling good.
yeah, and then you punching me because I pulled a rabbit out of my hat.
That's all right.
All right,
It's all right.
Good. Anyway, so what else? You got to ask me. Come on now, go girl.
Well, I guess we should tell people the time frame, because that's all we were talking about on the way back, is the time frame on the house and what's going to happen with
It's
Gen X Talks.
It's real quick.
and-
We get it. The realtor that we've already talked to, I'll talk to him on Sunday, and we start moving things up. Some goes into storage, some goes into the rental house. Gen X Talk's actually going to grow a little bit because you and I have already committed to more world shows and garage shows, because while we're packing the garage, we're going to be showing you some of the stuff that I've had for years and stories that go along with it. So
Right.
it'll be part of our packing process, which will work.
That was fun. And you know what? I was also thinking, I'm throwing this out to you because I didn't even tell you about this, is maybe if we spend more time out there, maybe not a world show live, maybe we could tape something that we could put
Yeah,
out there
we could.
sometime too. Like if we're stuck on a week or we need to, we can just, as we're packing
The
throughout
bad
the
part
day.
is that to rent a U-Haul on a daily rental, drive up, drive back,
Killer.
it's thousands of dollars. So you think, okay, I'll do it one way. It's still like $900 one way, not including food and gas. This is just a U-Haul rental. So some of the trips, I want to just take a trailer. The trailer is the cheapest way, the biggest enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if buying an enclosed trailer wouldn't be cheaper.
Whoa, we're not
And
buying anything.
I'm just saying,
no.
Gen X Talk
Get that thought out of your
sponsored
head. No.
trailer.
No.
And drive a trailer up there. You can get
Wrong.
a couple people with pickup trucks to help you drive them up. Hook up, let's say you get 3 U-Haul trailers. That might be the cheapest
Maybe you
way
need
to
to
go.
talk to your future son-in-law and see what his grandma has on her lot that you might be able to borrow.
Oh, what if they have a
Oh.
trailer out there? They might.
Yeah, might.
Anyway, so yeah, because of the money, it's going to be
All right,
huge.
so the last thing,
Yeah.
it is 11 here. We're down to our hour, but so another news thing. So I heard Doge is thinking about giving Americans $5,000 each.
Yeah, they're thinking about it. If they do,
How do you feel about it?
I just want them to make the check out to U-Haul.
Oh my gosh, no! I don't know. I have mixed views about it.
I don't. I know your mixed views, and I think they're misguided. You're like,
Whoa.
no. Well, I do. I don't want to go into the whole explanation, but you said, what did you think should be done with the
I
5,000?
think all that money should just go to our debt.
It's
our
not going to make a
country's debt.
difference. Okay, let me ask you this: if I gave you a pocket full of silver dollars, right?
Right.
And they're each worth like $100 each, and you got a handful, 2 handfuls, and I put them in your pockets,
Uh-huh.
and I say, okay, now go spend it. Could you go spend it and do some good with it? Would it make a difference? Yeah, you could make a difference in your life buying some stuff with a pocket full of silver dollars that were all worth $100 each.
Yeah.
Is it possible that people could buy a car, people could buy groceries, people could buy some things?
Are you just saying economy-wise?
Economy-wise, it could probably have a little bit of a
little
dent.
kickstart?
It could definitely. $5,000 is a lot of money to some people.
Of course it
and
is.
it's not much to others. But so giving people the money, I think, has great things it could do. You say pay the economy. Now, imagine a swimming pool that's empty.
Okay.
And I tell you, take your handful and throw it in the bottom of that swimming pool. Have you made a dent in filling that swimming pool all the
No.
way up?
No.
I mean, the amount of money that $5,000 in, yes, you got to think of it as every bit helps, but there's ways to take a dump truck full of coins and fill up that swimming pool and pay off the debt by slashing programs and curving what we do and getting rid of administrative costs. I mean, there's fraud. There's a ton
I just
of it.
feel I would want to give my money away. I think I just feel that it should go to the veterans. I think they should.
Okay,
get
now
theirs
that's a
first.
different thing. If you said we're going to give the money to strictly to veterans first, yes, I would say that. But if you're just going to give the money, I think they're going to fix the debt anyway. Okay, that's going to be
Alright.
big programs to fix the debt. And on the side, they're going, and by the way, here's $5,000 while we're doing it. Thank you. I would like that. U-Haul, here I come.
What would happen if they said like nobody's going to pay taxes for 1 year? Do you think that would make it, instead of doing 5,000?
Well,
What if they do that? Because everybody's tax bracket is different.
that's why I don't know that that's a good
Giving
idea.
everybody 1 year break.
Well, some people don't pay taxes, so they're going to go, thanks for nothing. Some people pay, $80,000 a year in taxes. They're going to go, fuck, and that's great. I'm all in on that. I think it's just better to give everybody $5,000 and say, we're going to straighten out the budget. You guys are all entitled to this. You just take $5,000 and go have a good
Well,
time.
I guess we'll see how it flushes
Yeah,
out.
I don't know, but that's my
That's
thing.
interesting.
So, yeah, you can ask me about a Jade and Briggs update, I'm sure.
All right, I will.
No,
All right, a Jade and Briggs update. Make it quick.
I can't.
Oh my gosh.
And this is probably the most important update anyone's ever going to hear on these two. And I'll try to be short and concise. Briggs had another one of his corny job things in town where he's going to do some data marketing research. And he says, hey, Mom, Dad, while you're gone, I need a ride across town for training. So I told Jade, I said, hey, let him borrow your car. You're off those days. We're going to be out of town. Let him borrow your car. Jade says to me, no, I'll drive him. And I said, why? We don't know where it is. I don't know how long he's going to be in the building training. Just let him borrow the car. He's a good driver. She goes, my tags are expired like 6 months. And if he gets pulled over, I don't want him to have to deal with it. I go, there's nothing to deal with.
I was going to say, he doesn't have to deal with shit.
No.
They're just going to tow him and
Tow
leave him
your
on the side of the road.
There's nothing to deal with in Kern County. If they pull you over for that, they tow your car, and they keep it for 30 days, and you have to pay about $1,000, $900 to get it out. It's ridiculous, but that's the law. And she goes, what? And I said, yeah, you got to get. What are you doing? How does your car not have tags? And so now she's panicking. But then you gave me a really interesting tidbit about her as I'm yelling at her going, then after 30 days, you got to take your license and your registration and go to the junkyard, the repo yard, and get your car. And you whispered in my ear, she doesn't have a license.
An up-to-date.
And I said, what do you mean? And you said, her license got renewed and sent to an old boyfriend's address, and she was too chicken shit to go get it. So she doesn't have a current license. I go,
and the other thing is that not only did it go to the other address, she kept telling me, well, I'm just going to go to DMV and handle it. Go to DMV. I've been hearing that for almost a year now.
Yeah,
that
it's
she was,
over a
I'm gonna
year
make
old.
I'm going to make an appointment and go. I said, yeah, you should.
So as you whispered this in my ear, and I keep yelling at her, and she goes, okay, I don't have a license. I go, then how are you going to get your car out of the impound yard when you don't have a current license?
It's expired.
She goes, what? I go, you don't have current registration. You don't have current ID. They're going to tow your car, and now you can't get it out. And
then you have no car.
No, and
no
the bill
job.
the bill keeps growing in the impound yard. So
A registration bill's growing.
guess what she's doing? Nothing. She hasn't done a damn thing.
I can't imagine what the registration on the car is
So
now.
in all of this, Briggs finds out that his training got postponed, so he didn't go. But then yesterday, Briggs and I have a father-son meltdown.
Text blowout.
Text blowout. I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. I said,
Should have been done in person.
I only asked the bare minimum of you. I mean, I asked so little. Please check the chickens in the morning. Please feed the dogs. And can you take the trash can out on the day it's supposed to go out? Oh, and turn the lights off in the studio when you're done. And he fucked all those things up. And I got mad and go, how do you fuck up such a little thing? Or the list. We had a list. I said, can you please pack the studio? Can you please pack these items so I can do a show in Minden? And I said, he goes, okay, you're packed. I said, please double check the list. I don't want you to forget anything. He goes, Dad, I got it. I'll take care of you. I love you. Yeah, I got you. We get up to Minden and stuff's missing. Oh, I forgot to pack it. I go, you said you read the list twice, you dumbass. So then he flips out on me and says, I have to be me. I have to be an individual. And I go, what the fuck does that have to do with you doing 5 minimal things? He goes, look, Dad, I'll do these things you want, but I can't be perfect. I need to have the room to be me. I said, okay, be whatever person you want, but fucking take the right trash can out on the right day. Be whatever person you want. Feed the fucking dogs on time. What does being your own person have to do with you obeying the rules of this house, which are nothing? They're so small. You don't fucking pay rent here. And he goes, I don't think you're getting it. I want you to treat me like Jade. I'll pay a couple bucks rent and treat me like Jade. I said, no problem, motherfucker. You're on. And I told him, 1, you're paying for your own car repairs. 2, you're going to pay rent. And 3, you don't get to come live with us in Minden. I rented a house with a room for you. There are people helping you get a job in Minden. We know some people that can make some phone calls, and they're ready to do this. You don't get any of that. So I don't know where you're going to live. I don't know what you're going to do for a job of money. Your truck's out of registration. You need to pass smog. You need to get it repaired. You don't know how to work on cars, and you got no money. You want to be treated like Jade? No problem, motherfucker. Done. And I hung up. Now, you kind of unwound that deal. You were stroking me by the back of the head. Now, honey, calm down.
Because it was all by text.
You called him when I went into the bathroom at a gas station. You're like,
Yes.
Okay,
Calm
breathe.
down, neutral corners. It's like putting them in a boxing ring and go, okay, back to your corners.
So yeah,
So I
that
have
was.
to figure
There's
it
a
all
quick
out.
update, and
But
Jade's,
mom came to the rescue. I'm mediating the situation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling it. Mediating. So we'll see how
So
this pans out.
there's still some talking to be done here, but you did put a stay of execution on him.
Thank God.
But yeah, Jade's just I want her. She had a meltdown this morning right before the show was starting. She actually came down 3 minutes before the show. We went live. She sits in the chair and she goes, I need to talk. And I'm like, we're doing a show in 3 minutes. And she goes, oh shit. So she left. But she texted me and she's having a full blown crisis and she doesn't know what to do. She needs to leave. She needs to leave this guy.
I don't think she thought this was gonna happen.
No, she didn't. And she needs to go to Nebraska and live with her sister. No, she does. Her sister's ready for her. Her sister wants this. She needs to just get a clean break from this town, from her old friends, and start over. I know this because I've been on the planet 57 years and I can see it and go, I can tell this is just what
Yeah.
you need.
I want this on the record. I have a feeling she's going to come to you. Couple things. She doesn't have any money. That's one.
She skipped work again today.
Hold on.
All right,
She's going
sorry.
to come and tell you she doesn't have enough money for whatever the future holds. And the other thing is she's going to come to you, I have a feeling, and say the boyfriend said I can't move in.
Good. Go to Nebraska.
I bet you that's
When she
what's
says,
gonna
Dad,
happen.
I need $3,000 to get my car.
Because
say, no, but I'll help you move to Nebraska.
But
That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, but she just didn't prepare for this. And now we've been like 2 years ago
yeah.
when we were talking about it, we talked about it. This isn't
She
a
knows.
surprise. It was coming. And then February 1st, I said, get ready. 2 months. You got to be ready,
Yeah.
packed and out the door. And she was like, what? Still didn't take me seriously. And now
No,
when
and
you said,
this morning, it is the full blown crying, shaking. Her hands are shaking because she's like, I'm going to be left all alone in this town. No more brothers and sisters are anywhere near this town. My home is leaving. You guys are okay. I understand. Let's move to Nebraska and get your life back on track. Go to school. There's schools out there for what you want to do. Let's get it done. And I'm trying so hard to just go, you need to believe me. I'm even going to put it to the fact of I'm not going to loan you money for you to stay here, but I will help you move. And guess what? If you don't like it in 6 months out there, you stay 6 months. If you don't like it in 6 months, I will help you move back to town and you can get back with your boyfriend that you don't give a shit about. And I'll tell her that. And then she may do it. If I really twist her arm, she may do it that way. But Briggs is on thin ice with me. He got up to go to the gym this morning. I said, you're not borrowing my fucking truck. So he's like, wait a second. I thought Mommy said everything was peaches and cream again.
no, I didn't say that.
No,
You
but
liar.
that's what he thinks.
I didn't say any
You're
of
going
that.
to have to sit down with him and go, listen, this is more of a last chance. There's a few things you're going to have to change, but you're okay,
Right.
but don't fuck it up.
Yep.
So we're seeing this is that you guys wanted a very serious update on Briggs and Jade. There's your serious update. You wanted it on Dayton and what we're doing. That's it. And it's kind of a big deal, but we're working on that right now. So
All right.
anyway, a little bit here and there, then some funny stuff tossed in there, a little humor about what's going on in the world around us. Yeah, we're a little bit overtime here, about 12 minutes overtime, but we did it.
We did.
I'm
Only
gonna-
1 yawn, 2 yawns, maybe?
2 yawns. Yeah, you didn't even get to 6. We could keep going till you get to 6 if you want to.
And I just said the word yawn.
And there's 3. So we are shooting for, let you guys know, we are planning to try to do a world show. Today's Thursday. You guys are listening to it on a replay. We're doing it live on kgxtradio.com Thursday. It's as we're doing this, it's 11:13 a.m. on Thursday, Los Angeles time. You guys will hear it Friday sometime usually. We're trying to do a world show on Friday. We might even squeak in a garage show that night if we can. We have some ideas. Big show on Saturday is a big call-in show. We're going to do one of the call-in shows with some trivia and some prizes and stuff. That'll be fun. And then, we're off Sunday, Monday. But Sunday, Monday, those are the big days for getting our gear in motion for Here We Go. We're even trying to get Mary Mathis, who you all know and love. We're trying to get her back out here to help us pack and do some things this weekend if we can get everything in motion. So,
That's it.
A lot of stuff going, a lot of moving parts.
Yes, there is.
And really, now I'm kind of in the mode of I just like to get where we're going so I can begin exploring those parts of Nevada. There's so much I want to
You're
go
not going to
sit.
do any exploring till my house is built.
If I'm waiting for them to put in a power pole, do I
Then
have
you
to just
better
sit
be
at home?
blowing up their ass and getting it.
Yeah, but if they say, look, we'll be out there, the first available date is in 4 weeks, you're going to make me sit at home
oh,
for
no,
4
it ain't
weeks?
going to be 4 weeks.
I can't control their schedule.
Oh, yes, you can.
No, come on.
Money talks, bullshit walks.
I'm not paying extra just to hurry things along for you.
Oh, my gosh.
If I got 4 weeks till the
you
next
can go
time
play
thing,
with your new buddy bromance up in Nevada with my brother.
Fine,
That's
then-
literally a bromance.
it is not. We're just friends. I'm just going to, then fine. If you don't want to go, he'll go with me. If I want to say, let's go to Virginia City and talk to people.
What, on the back of your Harley?
I'm not putting him on the back. No, I'm not.
That's cute.
He would not sit bitch on my bike. That's not a good thing.
Bromance bitch bike.
Get off the bike anywhere in Nevada. Somebody'd say, you two boys been together long? Not a good look.
We have matching tattoos.
Stop. You got to stop.
All right, I gotta go. I have things to do today too. Lots of laundry to do.
All right. Well, let's. There you guys are with the update, the Gen X Talks update. Things should be getting better, improving more as we go along, just out of necessity. But it's going to be a whirlwind the next 60 days. Try to stay with us. The store will go live soon. Try to support Gen X Talks. Buy a couple things from there, even if we only make a couple bucks on it. Believe me.